Hello, my friends. I'm Darth Paradigm. So I'm in a never-ending quest to sort of refine and make my reviews for my sabers a little bit more concise and not quite as long. So I'll jump right into it. So this is my Genesis Custom Sabers Creed, and this is a CFX equipped saber with in-hilt LED. So it's full RGB color changing. The hilt is 11 and a half inches long. The blade, which I currently have a Vader's Vault 32-inch translate blade, my favorite type of blade. I put them in all my favorite sabers. Is held in with a thumb screw, and there's kind of like a weird S-style emitter here, which I love, and then this sort of gun barrel design with all these windows. We do this hexagonal section here, which has all the switches. This is the auxiliary switch, and that's the main ignition switch. For some reason, there's a rubber O-ring here, which I can forgive. I don't mind it at all. And you have some scallop section. Basically this is where your hand resides and lives. And you finish off the chassis with just kind of a normal tubular part with the cover tick wheel and then your pommel. So the whole thing kind of has a strong corn horn vibe. I think that's what it's sort of meant to elicit. I'll have some glamour shots at the end of the video this time rather than at the beginning like I usually do. And I'm also going to show you in a separate part of the video, part two, the chassis system, which is quite ingenious. But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this saber. This thing is just brilliant. This is light, agile. Everything is securely in here. The blade itself is bright. It's loud. I actually have the volume turned down. I usually keep it around 90 to preserve the speaker's life. And I have it just simply loaded up with fonts. So the ease of access to the SD card is just fantastic. So I have this, and I have my Vector, which is my NeoPixel equipped saber by Genesis Custom Sabers. And I have to honestly say, between Genesis Custom Sabers and Saber Trio and JQ Sabers, I'm not one for anything. Those are pretty much going to be my go-to saber companies for the remainder of my time in this hobby. This thing is one of the most comfortable and flexible. I don't know. I can't come up with too many adjectives, but it's brilliant. It's a brilliant design. Someday I'd like to get the Ascend. I'd definitely love to get a Bad X, but currently Genesis Custom Sabers isn't really. From what I read, he actually has enough parts to make the hilts, and the issue is actually getting the CFX boards, and that's the one thing that's preventing him from having anything on his store for sale, and it's been that way for quite some time, and it doesn't look to be changing anytime soon. So I'm going to show you the chassis now, and then after that we'll move on to some glory shots. All right. So I think that if there's one thing that we can all agree on, it's that a good quality installation on a lightsaber really just is pleasing to behold. So let me show you how Rob Petcow from Genesis Custom Sabers does it. At least how it's done on the Creed, which I think is pretty well done, pretty ingenious. Some dust in here. Okay, so there we have the speaker, and we just pull this whole unit out. Now notice how it's all just sort of assembled right here, and there's a little plug. I don't know what's going on in here. All I know is there's a plug here, and that's enough for me. It's kind of getting all the wires all nice and grouped and protected, which is great. And what he did was, you have your soundboard here, the SD card, and then here you have your lithium-ion battery. And this little plastic covering just kind of slides off, and it slides sort of into the hilt and gives you access to everything. And now this is kind of not secured in, so you can sort of lift it so that you can access the micro SD card. So there you have it, my micro SD card, and then that goes back in here, and I can swap out my battery. And what he does is he puts a little bit of fabric here, which a lot of installers do. That allows you to just kind of pop your battery out, and it has a little indicator plus and or positive and negative. So the positive end goes that way, as we know. As I'm always repeating, you definitely want to make sure that you're putting the battery in the right way, because to put the battery in the wrong way is very detrimental to the board, insofar as you will no longer have a board. You'll have a bunch of smoke, and it'll be stuck in your nostrils for at least 2 weeks, and you'll be living with a lot of regrets. So definitely, I like to be very, very cognizant. I clear my head, and I make sure that I double check everything. So I remove the old battery, I keep it in the same orientation. I can see the positive, negative. I can see the positive, negative in here. I have my new battery it's not new, it's quite old actually, but it's been recharged. And I pop that in there, and it will let me know if I've done it right.
Commander, get out there and stop those droids!
That's my current favorite sound font, Security by Le Jedi Arctique, my friend, who has produced a masterpiece. So, as you can see, this is just kind of free floating, but you can sort of shove it a little bit in there. You don't have to put too much pressure, just into this little slot, and then I have to fish out my sleeve here, and you just kind of get that sleeve and slide it. You can see it's kind of securing that. It's securing the battery, and it just stops right there. So it's all 3D printed to work more or less perfectly, and it just kind of free floats in there. It doesn't have like it's not like the Delran chassis on a Saber where it actually slides in concert with the CoverTech. This just kind of slides in, and nothing impedes it, and then it stops right here. It has a little I don't know what you want to call it, 3D printed detail to stop it exactly where it needs to stop, and then slide this thing on. The threading is premium on this thing. You get that all the way on there, and you're good to go. Yeah. There we go. And that's the install for my Genesis Custom Sabers Creed.